You want to talk to the manager? Oh, no. This is the number one pain in the ass objection any good salesperson gets. You know you can solve the problem, but your prospect wants to talk to the manager. I'm going to tell you how you can handle this objection on today's episode of The Dave Lorenzo Daily. Hi there and welcome back, everyone. It is great to see you. I'm Dave Lorenzo, and if you're brand new here, this is your first time, we do this every day. I provide you with a great sales video every day that helps you make more money and get home on time for dinner every single night. If you're new, I want you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you punch that bell. There's a little bell right there. Punch it because I want you to get notifications when we upload a new video. We do a live interview every Thursday with someone who can help you grow your business in a way that is natural and based on relationships. That's right, we only focus on relationship-based business development here, and I want you to get notifications when we upload a new video and also when we go live so you can join us and you can be part of the conversation. The number one thing that sales reps tell me is a pain in the ass is when somebody says to them, I want to speak to your manager. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you think you don't have this problem, but oftentimes people will go to your sales professional and they'll say, I want to speak to the boss so that they get to you. And here's the reason why 99% of those people want to speak to the manager. It's because they think they can get a better deal when they go to the owner, when they go to the manager, when they go to the person who runs the business. You, as a manager, need to support your sales rep, and you need to be prepared for all of these situations. Now, as a sales professional, as someone who's out there every day developing and growing relationships, here's how you handle this objection. You say to your prospect, Mr. Prospect, I will be thrilled to introduce you to Joe Smith. He's the owner of the company, and he's going to want to meet you anyway because once you come to be a part of our family, once you purchase something from us, you're like a part of the family, and Joe wants to meet everybody. So I'm thrilled to introduce you. Here are a couple of things I want to make sure I understand before I connect you with Joe. Number one, I want to make sure I understand if I've done everything I can to deliver value to you. Have I done everything I can? Is there anything else I could do to help you before I connect you with Joe? And then this person's going to say, no, you've been great. I really appreciate it. I want to talk to Joe because I think I can work something out with him. The second thing you're going to say is, I know that when people say they want to talk to Joe, they think they're going to be able to negotiate a better price. And 9.9 times out of 10, Joe is going to give you the same price that I gave you, as long as all the information is exactly the same. Is there anything that you're going to say to Joe that's different than what you've said to me? Is there anything you've left out in this entire process? And then the person on the other side of the table is going to say, no, I told you everything. That's great. Okay, fine. Last question for you. Have we done everything we can to show you everything there is to know about our product, our service, and the experience of working with us? Is there anything that you wanted to see that I didn't show you? Is there anything that you wanted to know that I didn't tell you? The reason you're asking these three questions is because you are going to take away any sort of leverage that Joe has complaining about you in the process. The key is when you ask these questions, you can't be defensive. And the way that you can make sure you're not defensive is by working it out with your boss, with the manager, with the owner, with the entrepreneur ahead of time. So you and your boss need to have a sit down and you need to talk about what happens when someone asks to speak with the boss during the sales process. And the boss should have a process in place that's very similar to your sales process. And the boss should always deliver the same price and the same terms that you've delivered so that he supports you 100%. Now, most likely, most likely the customer has held something back. Most likely the customer has a longer term he can commit to in order to get a better price, and he's asking to speak to your boss to reveal that. I'll tell you, this isn't the best thing for your relationship with the client, but you and your boss need to be on the same page, and your boss can then give the client a better price, or if something has changed in the process and it changes the price, your boss, of course, is going to change the price. But what he's going to do is he's going to sit down with you present, and he's going to say, you know, Mr. Customer, I have to tell you, I'm not happy with the way this process has gone because I understand that you didn't reveal that little fact to my sales representative, and he could have handled this exactly the way I'm going to handle it. And you're going to be right there when he says it. Now, here's the bottom line. When the client walks away from this situation, he has to feel good. So I want to make sure that you also feel good by getting the deal closed. I don't want you to do anything to lower your dignity. I want you to always be at a peer level with the person with whom you're negotiating. But at the end of the day, the client should feel like he got a good deal and you get to take the money to the bank. It's key that your boss maintains your positioning, and it's also key that you allow the boss to come in and you do so willingly and not being defensive. And the key to that is having a conversation ahead of time. This is how you handle the objection when the customer says, or the prospective client says, I want to speak to the manager. And keep in mind, it's almost never, as long as you didn't screw up in the process, it's almost never about you, and it's always about them trying to negotiate a better deal. So make sure you have the conversation with your boss in advance. In fact, watch this video with your boss and then have that conversation in advance. And then you can tag team on the client and make sure he has a fantastic experience and he thinks that he negotiated at the top of the company. And when he reveals that little thing that he was holding back from you, he got a great deal, but he also views you as a peer. I'm Dave Lorenzo, and until tomorrow, I hope you join me right back here. But until tomorrow, I'm hoping you do this and sell more.